Gives me great pleasure to welcome all those participating live in this virtual celebration, as well as those who will enjoy the recording on YouTube. We are grateful to all who made this possible. Today, we bid a fond farewell to 4 respected and valuable members of the college community who have reached that wonderful, sunny, warm, blissful plateau in their careers called retirement. Joyce Jewell, EDD, Assistant Professor of Education; Claire Doyle, MED, MA, Director of Academic Advising; Marion Eno, BS, Circulation Librarian; Joseph Macucci, PhD, ABPP, Professor of Psychology. Each of today's retirees has brought singular talents to the college during times of transition and change. Their presence enriched us in too many ways to number, and while we're happy for them, we certainly regret that they are leaving us. Also this afternoon, we are delighted to congratulate 2 faculty members who were awarded promotion and tenure in the past few months. Jeffrey Carroll, PhD, Assistant Professor of Political Science, and Nora Madison, PhD, Assistant Professor of Communications. We also recognize those among us who have served the college in a full-time position for 10 or more years. We thank you for the good you do and the work you accomplish. We frequently hear students in all 3 schools comment on the profound influence faculty and staff members have on their academic and personal growth during their college years. This afternoon, one of our students, Rayshawn Grant, class of 2021, will pay tribute to all faculty and staff for their many years of service. Rayshawn is a criminal justice major, president of the Student Government Association, an RA, and an ambassador in the admissions office. He came to Chestnut Hill to play sprint football and hopes to have a career as a football coach. Rayshawn?
Thank you so much, Sister Carol. Thank you so much. Thank you all for having me here. I would just like to speak a few words on the amazing faculty and staff here at Chestnut Hill College. For one, I would just like to say I'm truly honored to be here with all of you today and to be a part of this joyous event. I have been active in a few different organizations in my time here at Chestnut Hill College, including the Resident Life staff as a RA, the admissions department as a student ambassador, and Student Government Association as both a class president and now executive president. And I am grateful for all of those experiences and academic challenges the faculty have put forth before me in my tenure at the college, as I have grown and developed as a young leader in our society and a highly motivated individual ready to jump into the workforce. Without the work of our faculty and staff do every day in the classrooms and behind the scenes, students like me would not exist. It is here in this amazing institution where everyone works to create a community so open to all of its diverse student body that makes it possible for me and so many other students to find the love and passion for our future careers. I would like to thank you all again, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, as you have all contributed to my success and the success of so many other Griffins who have found their way to Chestnut Hill College. And thank you all for being my dear neighbor.
Thank you, Rayshawn, for being our dear neighbor, for your sincere and heartfelt expressions of appreciation and praise for our faculty and staff. We're grateful for your presence with us this afternoon, representing all of our students, and we wish you continued success. And we're sorry you didn't get to play sprint football this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Rayshawn. This afternoon, we will present service awards to 18 members of our community who have served 10, 15, 20, 35, and 40 years. These individuals have remained steadfastly committed to the college through every changing season. Dr. Christopher Doherty, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty, will announce the honorees. Chris?
Thank you, Sister Carol. For 10 years of service, Dr. Lauren Barrow, Associate Professor of Criminal Justice. Marianne Borick, Student Services Liaison. Claire Doyle, Director of Academic Advising. Darian Leader, Director of Transfer Admissions. Dr. Claudia Garcia Leeds, Associate Professor of Psychology. Dr. William Lawinger, Associate Professor of Philosophy. Dr. Kevin McCarthy, Associate Professor of Psychology. Monique Melmed, Administrative Assistant, PsyD Program. And Dr. Leslie Shrelo, Assistant Professor of Psychology. For 15 years of service. Regina Bernhardt, Executive Assistant to the President. Erin Fidler, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Medicine. April Folks, Executive Director, Accelerated Adult Degree Program and SCPS Admissions. Dr. Ryan Murphy, Director of Experiential Learning. Dr. Lynn Ortali, Vice President for Student Life. Kenneth West, PC, Network Technician, for 20 years of service. Sister Jean Faustman, Associate Professor and Spanish, for 35 years of service. Marianne Eno, Circulation Librarian.
We are pleased to honor Sister Rita Michael Scully, MA, Associate Professor of English. Sister Rita, you have taught English for 40 years at Chestnut Hill College and served as moderator of the yearbook for most of that time. Your love for learning and literature has opened the minds and touched the spirits of hundreds of students. One student is quoted to have said, quote, "Everyone should have Sister Rita for at least one course," end quote. It's my pleasure to present you with a certificate, a Ruby CHC monogram pendant, and a gift card that you can use to relax and enjoy something special. We are truly happy to honor you today. And may we all still have the enthusiasm and joy that you have when we've served for 40 years. In the name of us all, I thank each of you for a combined 275 years of service and the innumerable contributions you have made during your years here. We know we can continue to count on your selfless presence to the college community in the years ahead. You will receive your certificate and gift in the coming week. As we know, promotion and tenure are high water marks in the career lives of academics. And therefore, it is important for us to gather as a community of scholars, learners, and friends in order to recognize and celebrate these professionally defining achievements. Dr. Christopher Doherty, Vice President for Academic Affairs, will join me in offering these honors. At its March 2nd, 2021 meeting, the Academic Committee of the Board of Directors of Chestnut Hill College approved the promotions of Dr. Jeffrey Carroll and Dr. Nora Madison, effective July 1, 2021. Also recommended them for tenure. At its March 15th, 2021 meeting, the Board of Directors approved tenure, effective July 1, 2022.
The criteria for tenure require proficiency in all three areas of scholarship, teaching, and service, with potential for excellence in at least one area. The criteria for promotion to associate professor require proficiency in all three areas, excellence in at least one area, and potential for excellence in at least one area. Doctors Carroll and Madison met these requirements. Dr. Jeffrey Carroll. Jeffrey, you meet the criteria in all three areas with excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. Your qualifications for this rank and for tenure are truly impressive. Excellence in the area of teaching is expressed in your energetic and inclusive teaching style, which enables students to learn in an active manner from you and from peers. Student evaluations are uniformly high, and letters of support from CHC alumni attest to your impact on their development as scholars and citizens. Excellence in scholarship is evident in your broad and interdisciplinary research approach, which includes urban geography, budgetary politics of state and local governments, and hip-hop culture. The Promotion and Tenure Committee commented on your, quote, impressive array of scholarship, end quote. Excellence in service is apparent in the initiation of innovative learning opportunities inside and beyond the college for students and faculty. The Promotion and Tenure Committee noted that your, quote, most significant contribution is in service toward the college's work on diversity and inclusion. The development of an innovative digital space for reflection and musical creativity, Beat Lab, provides a safe space for a variety of students to discuss issues and gain new insights.
Congratulations, Jeffrey. You will receive a mahogany desk nameplate with your new rank, Associate Professor of Political Science. Jeff, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, briefly, just overcome by the moment and getting here. And I just thank the Chestnut Hill College community. And thank you, Sister Carol. Thank you, Chris Doherty, and to my dear colleague, Jackie Reich, who's here in the audience. Just thank you for everything. I look forward to continuing to build with you all, dear neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Chris?
Thank you, Sister Carol. Dr. Nora Madison. Nora, you meet the criteria in all three areas with excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. Your qualifications for this rank and for tenure are impressive. Excellence in teaching is evident by your think, pair, share approach, which allows for thinking independently, working in pairs, and validating ideas by presentation to the entire class. Students describe you as knowledgeable, tough, brilliant, and inspiring, and at the same time, responsive, compassionate, and generous. A colleague noted that you have, quote, a great ability to be both scholarly and rigorous, and also casual and approachable, end quote. You demonstrate excellence in scholarship, which focuses on digital communications and how they are used for social and political activism. Your work has had a great impact in the field, meriting you a Fulbright Scholarship Award for a paid year of research and teaching at the University of Bergen in Norway. The Promotion and Tenure Committee noted that your scholarship, which focuses on promotion of inclusivity and equity for all people, supports the mission of Chestnut Hill College. Excellence in service to the college, your profession, and the broader community was recognized by the Promotion and Tenure Committee as exemplary. You brought recognition to the college nationally and internationally in many ways, including as an invited editor for a special issue of the Journal of Resistance Studies and as a conference reviewer for the Hawaii International Conference on Systems Sciences.
Congratulations, Nora. You will receive a mahogany desk nameplate with your new rank, Associate Professor of Communications. Nora, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much. It is such a privilege to have earned this position in a community that I am so honored to work with and work for. When I first came to Chestnut Hill College, it was exactly where I had hoped very much to land, in a tight-knit community that cares for each other, cares for our students, and cares for the dear neighbor. And I am so very grateful to have been awarded tenure. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sister Carol. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you to all my colleagues.
And congratulations again to Jeffrey and Nora. We're so happy to have you among us. We now turn to our retiring colleagues, Joyce Jewell, Claire Doyle, Marian Enow, and Joseph Makuchi, to honor them as they embrace another part of life's journey. Although today's honorees will retire from the college, they will certainly never retire from doing good, savoring memorable moments with family and friends, and growing in self-understanding and love of God. Retirement often presents the opportunity to become involved in long-desired pursuits that the workaday world impeded. This will certainly be the case with our retirees, Joyce, Claire, Marian, and Joe. We are also honoring Dr. Joseph Makuchi with the distinction of Professor Emeritus. Emeritus status is approved by the College Board of Directors at the time of retirement and conferred on those faculty members who have displayed a distinguished record of teaching, service, and scholarship. Brief tributes by members of the college community will be offered now for each of our retirees. Each retiree will receive a mahogany painted box with a color insert showing a view of St. Joseph Hall and a monetary gift. Our first retirement honoree is Dr. Joyce Jewell, Assistant Professor of Education, Dr. Len Spearing, Assistant Professor of Education, Dr. Marie Leahy, Associate Professor of Education, and Nancy Levitt, Student Teaching Coordinator, will give the tribute.
Thank you, Sister Carol. Words alone cannot express how much Dr. Joyce Jewell has meant to Chestnut Hill and to her friends and colleagues in the center. With the creative talents of Sister Marie Leahy and Nancy Levitt, we have put together a small tribute that will represent all three of us. One word of explanation is necessary. Joyce is a huge fan of the Peanuts comic strip and has a treasure trove of memorabilia in her office. So maybe this will make sense then.
Joyce asked us not to do or say anything too serious that may make her cry. We can make no guarantees in that department, but perhaps there will be a little laughter behind the tears.
Dr. Jewell dispenses her sage wisdom to undergraduate students, graduate students, educational leadership candidates, colleagues, and all of this at no charge.
Joyce is blessed with the gift of persistence. Not only does she not give up when anything, her belief in those around her make them better than they thought they could be.
Dr. Jewell loves to take her students on field trips, whether they're visiting Indian Lane or Melmark. And what happens is Dr. Jewell says, you don't mind if so-and-so misses class. And of course, Joyce, we know how important it is for our students to see different schools, so we never minded.
Joyce was known to bring in baked goods and treats for her students and colleagues, so she got to be the nice one. However, she once asked me to play the role of an angry parent in an IEP conference, and I think the students are still traumatized.
You might not know this, but Joyce has experience as a newspaper reporter, and she uses this skill all the time. She constantly gives us updates about students after they have graduated. She is forever highlighting their accomplishments and making sure that all of us know exactly what our students, our former students, are up to.
Dr. Jewell has a long and successful career in education, so she has a vast amount of knowledge to share. However, she isn't known to speak unless she can improve the conversation.
Yes, ma'am?
All right, so I'm going to paint a picture for you. We are in St. Joseph's Hall in the West Wing, and Joyce Jewell pops into our hallway saying, hey, does anybody have a little bit of chocolate? So, of course, somebody would come and give Joyce exactly what she needed, and we would say, hey, Joyce, why don't you keep this in your office? And she would insist that, oh my goodness, no, she only needs this chocolate this one time.
In addition to her many thoughtful gestures and acts of kindness, Joyce is generous in many other ways. She was always willing to donate her Phillies tickets for a worthwhile cause and has even endowed the Albert Jewell Memorial Award to be given to an education major.
Celebrating Christmas in Joyce's warm and inviting home became a beloved tradition of our department. Nobody decorates for the holidays quite like Joyce. Her family heirlooms, beautiful Christmas ornaments, and playful little snowmen were displayed throughout her home. We feasted on delicious homemade lasagna, and under the Christmas tree, each of us found a gift especially wrapped for us.
Joyce, you have impacted so many lives during your career. This is just one stop in your journey, but we will miss you tremendously. We wish you the best of success as your adventure continues.
Well, Joyce, this is not exactly goodbye because we know where to find you. So we'll be looking for you on the boardwalk of Ocean City, spending time, relaxing, and being with your family and grandchildren.
Len, Sister Marie, and Nancy, thank you for that very creative and personal offering.
You're welcome. We also got a little book to which we will memorialize. So thank you very much.
Terrific. Joyce, although you have been with the college for a brief time, you have inspired many young people to dedicate their lives to the education of children. Your calm and pleasant manner welcomes everyone. Students appreciate your holistic approach to teaching and in mentoring them as future teachers. Congratulations on your retirement. May it be a time of peace and happiness for you. Would you like to say a few words?
I'm speechless, and I'm sure no one in my department can believe that. But I'm truly speechless. And the 7 years I've been here, I have never felt being a dear neighbor like I have at Chestnut Hill College. This is a community that has carried me when I needed to be carried and supported and cheered me on for new ventures and programs at the school. And I am forever grateful to you, Sister Carol, to Chris Doherty and BJ Cunningham and my department. I can't thank you enough for the opportunities that you've given me to be at Chestnut Hill. Thank you all so very, very much.
And thank you for the quality of presence you've brought to our community. Our next honoree is Claire Doyle, Director of Academic Advising. Tribute will be given by Sister Cecilia Kavanaugh, PhD, former Dean of the School of Undergraduate Studies.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to everyone being honored. I'm happy to be with you, and I'm especially happy for the invitation to honor Claire Doyle, the Director of Academic Advising and the coordinator of the Sisters of St. Joseph Mission Scholars Program. If you've ever entered academic advising, you know that Claire has literally papered the walls with funny sayings, clever turns of phrase, and inspiring quotes. These give her visitors something to think and chat about, and we always look for the latest edition. Claire loves language, writing, and thought. She wants to inspire others and stay inspired herself. She also enjoys a good, smart laugh. So what saying might I paste on her wall to honor Claire's years of service to Chestnut Hill College, to her colleagues, and most importantly, to her students? One of Father Madai's maxims, chapter 11, the maxims of zeal. Your zeal will always be in proportion to the love of God you have in your heart. If it springs from a great love, then it will be great. Madai goes on to suggest that we take the Apostle Paul as our zealous example. Quote, from him you will learn the sincerity, prudence, ardor, selflessness, constancy, and tireless efforts characteristic of true zeal, end quote. Now, St. Paul had a fiery temper, so I'm not sure where Madai got prudence, but sincerity, ardor, selflessness, constancy, and tireless efforts, all of these characterize Claire. Sister Jane Field, the director of the SSJ Mission Fund, has shared, Claire is someone you want on your side. Claire is sincere, sin cere, without wax, no fillers, pure marble. What you see is what you get. Ardor, from the Latin to burn, fervor, passion, wholeheartedness, zeal. Claire's ardor has Paul's fiery quality to it, and many of us have been singed by it, especially when we're not measuring up to Claire's standards. I recall turning to a wise colleague after an especially energetic discussion in a committee and commenting that Claire had been pretty outspoken and vehement. Yes, our colleague agreed, but you must always listen past the vehemence because Claire always has a point and she's usually right. The heart of Claire's ministry is her work with all students, especially those who come to Chestnut Hill College from the margins of preparation or with economic or social challenges. Students who end up on the edge during their time here have also found her to be a supportive advocate who holds them all to the potential of which they are capable. In the words of a faculty member, Claire empowers students to be their best selves. She offers support and challenge. One of Claire's students, who had little to no family, told a professor once, "Claire is my person," going back for meetings long after being required, even though they knew they would get straight talk. That Claire truly loves our students is her greatest gift. Her zealous oversight of their grades, schedules, progress, and well-being, including feeding them in the food pantry, is love in action. In the words of one of our Sisters of St. Joseph Mission scholars, quote, "Claire has always pushed me and all of her students to do our best, not only academically, but also physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well. She's always there for anyone who needs her, and she wants nothing less than the best for all of her students, pushing us to our greatest potential in life. We wish her the best wherever God may take her next," close quote. Claire has offered that same supportive challenge, sincerity, integrity, high standards, and zeal to her colleagues. Thank you, Claire, for a life poured out in service to the dear neighbor and to anyone working on their behalf. May your retirement bring you much joy and peace and time to visit with all of us who love and appreciate you.
Thank you, Sister Cecilia, for speaking for all of us. And I love the way you wove the maxims into your presentation. Claire, you have touched the lives of so many students, especially those who need individual mentoring as they begin their college education. You are known for your dedication, encouragement, and tough love, something all of us need at one time or another. In addition, you served as an adjunct faculty member for several years. Claire, I'm grateful that you will continue to mentor the Sisters of St. Joseph Mission Scholars and oversee the food pantry in St. Joseph Hall. Congratulations on your retirement. May it be a time of joy and good health. Our next honoree is Marion Enow, Circulation Librarian. Tribute will be given by Sister Mary Jo Larkin, MA, MS, Dean of Library and Information Resources.
Thank you, Sister Carol. Paying tribute to Marion is indeed a privilege. There really isn't enough time to mention all the reasons that we librarians, as well as the entire college community, will miss her. Now, the invitation to this celebration told us that in addition to retiring, Marion is completing 35 years of employment at Chestnut Hill. But let's add 4 more years to this amazing record because she is a proud alum. No doubt her years in the library were foreshadowed that day in the spring of 1962, when Marion probably interrupted a serious hand of bridge to carry books from the 2nd floor of St. Joseph's Hall and join the long line of students moving up the front steps and into the brand new Loeb Library building. Little did she know that she would be climbing those steps for decades. Less than 20 years later, she returned to campus to work in the continuing education office. But the mystique of Loeb Library drew her in by 1989. And since then, she has extended a consistent welcome to all while handling unending interruptions with a smile and incredible patience. Her readiness to stop and start time and again is just one indicator of how flexible and unflappable Marion Enow is. Speaking of flexibility, it's good to acknowledge that during her library career, change has been the only real constant. With each innovation in library practice, she has stayed far enough ahead of the curve to manage her own work without losing a beat, while at the same time calming others' anxiety over, well, the demise of the card catalog, the arrival and the demise of a CD-ROM collection, those early clunky databases, and now a reliance on the electronic collection that is used more frequently than print. Some of us live by the adage, if it works, don't fix it. Now, Marion is more inclined to abandon something tried and true in favor of anything that will offer better outcomes for her faculty colleagues as well as for our students, even when those adjustments challenge her with a nerve-wracking learning curve. Thanks for her willingness to take a risk, for example, students in recent years access reserve materials at any hour because she decided to scan the paper reserves and put them in a digital format. Also, she has accepted the maintenance and the distribution of the PsyD program's testing kits. She even was able to figure a way for students to borrow them all throughout the pandemic. But more important, she has mentored literally hundreds of work-study students over the years. Her Chestnut Hill psychology degree served her well, as she has listened to and encouraged so many to believe in themselves and to persevere to graduation. Marion's graciousness, competence, and energy are well known. Her contributions to the staff committee, as well as all the other committees since 1985, are probably listed in an HR file somewhere. But more significant than all of that is the dynamism, the ready humor, and the sincere concern for her colleagues that accompanies her to campus every single day. We will certainly miss our Marion the librarian. Marion, all of us, especially the library staff, wish that the days ahead hold best blessings and many chances to take advantage of those spur-of-the-moment occasions that your work with us made you postpone. Robert Browning said it first, but Frank Sinatra sang it better. The best is yet to come.
Thank you, Mary Jo, for sharing those wonderful words with us about someone we all admire. And I was inspired, I guess, by the same historic genie that Mary Jo was, because my response is, you will see. Marion, your longtime commitment to Chestnut Hill College as a college student, class of 1962, when you helped carry the library books from the small library in St. Joseph Hall to the brand new Logue Library, is memorable. It is fitting then that after a few years working with adult students in the continuing education office, you spent most of your professional life at the desk in that library. Congratulations on your retirement, Marion. May it be a time of peace and joy for you. Would you like to say a few words?
Okay, back in December of 1985, sitting in Sister Catherine Miller's office in the halls of Clement Hall, I was fortunate to be given the opportunity to work at my alma mater. To all the members of this incredible college community, the administration, the faculty, staff, and students, thanks for your support and your friendship over the past 35 and a half years. Last but certainly not least, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my library associates, past and present, under the leadership of Mary Jo Larkin. It has been a privilege to know and work with each and every one of you. Thanks for 35 and a half years of the best. Thank you.
And thank you for 35 years of giving your best and sharing your goodness with us. It is our pleasure now to honor Dr. Joseph Micucci, Professor of Psychology. Tribute will be given by Dr. Cheryl Rothry, Professor of Psychology and Chair of the Department of Professional Psychology, and Dr. Scott Browning, Professor of Psychology.
During my postdoctoral internship at Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic, I received supervision on the Rorschach inkblot test. I had learned the Rorschach in graduate school, but at Child Guidance, there was a psychologist who made the material come alive. In addition, he described how to utilize assessment data into an intervention for families, an idea unheard of in my previous training. A few years later, when I was in my second year at Chestnut Hill College, the department needed to hire a faculty member for our growing department. I remembered Joe Micucci, that brilliant teacher who knew assessment backwards and forwards and systems therapy. Fortunately, Joe accepted the position and became a driving force in this department's building a doctoral program, achieving APA accreditation, creating an internship consortium, and developing the Psychological Services Center. While here, Joe wrote numerous journal articles and the classic text, The Adolescent in Family Therapy. The department will miss Joe, and I will miss him for his kindness, love of life, and his academic brilliance.
One of the things that the fortunate among us know and enjoy is Joe's soft side. Joe, you are loving and kind and dedicated to your husband and family, and you are a generous, wise, and supportive colleague, mentor, and friend. According to one of your colleagues, part of what makes Joe so special is that he always knows when you need support and is there to show he cares. He listens and can be the most understanding colleague and friend. Another colleague noted, I could go to Joe's office at any time. His door was always open to help me think through and navigate a range of complex situations that came up with students. As a new faculty member, he made me feel very supported, and our friendship just grew from there. Other colleagues reflected on your love of fine Italian food, Jill Selesky's baked delights, and your passion for the opera. I love to watch the masterful way you connected with students for some of those difficult but necessary conversations we had with them. You are an adolescent whisperer, and this includes adult students who regress to their adolescent selves at times. You were great fun to go to conferences with Joe, even though you hated going. For example, JoJo and I will never forget foraging through the rainforest with you and Jim during one of our NCSPP conferences. Here are just a few other favorite moments with your friends, colleagues, and students. Joe, you set the bar high for us in so many ways, including always being the first to meet any deadline. Your superhero powers of brilliance, speed, and organization, as well as your ability to analyze any situation from every possible angle, made your contributions to our program invaluable, even though we felt like social loafers in terms of our ability to keep up with you and to be able to see the forest, the trees, and the leaves in any decision under consideration. As you embark upon your well-earned retirement, we wish both you and Jim a life filled with great times, joy, travel, great food, great friends, great books, great binge television series, and lots of fun. You leave a gap in our department that will be very difficult to fill, and your legacy will forever be ingrained in the Chestnut Hill College Department of Professional Psychology. We are so grateful that you are willing to continue supervising in the training clinic. And while this is the ultimate gift for our students, we look forward to stealing you from them for chats and lunches and reminiscing. Thank you for everything you have been to Chestnut Hill College, to the Department of Professional Psychology, to our students, to our graduates, to our staff, to our faculty, and to me. Wishing you all the best in retirement, all the best in life, with great respect and love from your Psi-D family.
Cheryl, that was a beautifully fitting tribute to a wonderful colleague. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Carol.
Joe, your presence in the college community for more than 3 decades is marked with generosity, dedication, and steadfastness. You are an active participant among the team of 3 faculty members who initiated the Psi-D program. And under your leadership as chair of the Division of Psychology and director of the Psi-D program in clinical psychology, the program earned its first 7-year accreditation from the American Association, opened the Psychological Services Clinic, and started the Chestnut Hill College Internship Consortium. You bring 42 years of clinical experience in family therapy, psychological assessment, supervision, and consultation to your teaching and research. Scholarly activities include a book publication, The Adolescent in Family Therapy, Harnessing the Power of Relationships, and other publications and presentations too numerous to count. Joe, throughout your career, you brought honor and prestige to Chestnut Hill College and the Psi-D program, while preparing hundreds of students to serve in this notable profession. I am deeply grateful for your outstanding, selfless service to the college community and for your commitment to the college mission and the mission of the Sisters of St. Joseph. Dr. Joseph Macucci, professor of psychology, diplomat in clinical psychology from the American Board of Professional Psychology, and a fellow of the American Psychological Association, it is my privilege to confer upon you the honor of Professor Emeritus. Congratulations, Joe. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sister Carol. I am so touched by this tribute. Scott, Cheryl, that was brilliant. I love that aria. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. There's just so many people I need to thank. I mean, Sister Carol, you, of course, Sister Catherine Miller. I must thank you. You hired me. Scott recruited me, but you were the dean. Thank you. My friend Seal. I didn't know you were going to be here, but thank you, Seal. Certainly, Chris and BJ, you've been great leaders, and every single colleague in my department. One of the things I tell the students that I interview or the applicants that I interview is that we have such a collegial department, and you're not always going to find that in other places where there's, people, conflicts and infighting, but we always put the students first, and we always have one goal in mind. And I don't want to forget to thank Marion, because without Marion, our testing kits would never have been able to be distributed to our students. And Marion, you've just been wonderful in every way. I don't know. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone, but I just want to thank everyone for a wonderful, wonderful career at Chestnut Hill College. And incidentally, I don't know if people know this, but one of my very first teaching gigs was at the College of St. Catherine in St. Paul, Minnesota, where I was hired when I was still a grad student to teach abnormal psych. And who would have known back then that I would have been spending all these wonderful years with the Sisters of St. Joseph when I relocated to Philadelphia. So anyway, thank you all, everyone. And I am just so honored for this tribute.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you for your honesty and your forthrightness over many years, giving affirmation when it's needed and asking questions when it's needed. Thank you. You will be missed. Joyce, Claire, Marion, and Joe, I'm deeply grateful for your selfless dedication to the college community for so many years, your commitment to the mission of the Sisters of St. Joseph and the mission of the college. You will always be a part of this community and always welcome here. May retirement be the beginning of a new and interesting phase in your lives, and we wish you joy and peace. And congratulations to all of our honorees. We wish you continued good health as we move together into the future. And so let us pray. May the God of strength be with you, holding you in strong-fingered hands, and may you be a sacrament of God's strength to those whose hands you hold. May Christ support you all the day long, till the shades lengthen and evening comes and the busy world is hushed. May you know Jesus in the breaking of the bread and in the stranger you meet along the way. May love be in your heart and surround your hearth, filling your lives and homes with its fiery glow. And in all things and in all ways, may you find the blessings of God, rich in the grace of the giver. Go now with our gratitude and love.